Two National Guard members from West Virginia were critically injured after a gunman opened fire on them in an apparent targeted shooting near the White House on Wednesday, local time, was reported. The victims, a man and a woman, were taken to local hospitals for treatment. MPD Executive Assistant Chief Jeffrey Carroll said the unidentified gunman turned a corner, lifted his weapon and began firing at around 2:15 p.m. Following the shooting, U.S. President Trump's administration ordered the deployment of 500 additional National Guard troops to Washington. A White House official confirmed the building was placed under lockdown, which was lifted at about 5 p.m. local time. Who is Rahmanullah Lakanwal and what do authorities know so far? According to News, the suspect is Rahmanullah Lakanwal, a 29-year-old Afghan national who entered the United States in 2021. Federal authorities are still investigating his background and motive. Lakanwal entered the country through a refugee program for Afghans fleeing their country, according to two people familiar with the investigation, reported. Citing local authorities, the report said he was wounded after opening fire in a crowded tourist area on the eve of Thanksgiving, appeared to have acted alone and had specifically targeted members of the West Virginia National Guard. How did Trump respond to the attack? Who was in Florida for Thanksgiving, wrote on social media that the animal who shot the Guard members will pay a very steep price. In an address on Wednesday, he called the attack an act of evil, an act of hatred and an act of terror, adding, "It was a crime against our entire nation." He also vowed to intensify the government's deportation efforts and signaled a review of migrants who fled Afghanistan after the Taliban takeover in 2021. "We must now re-examine every single alien who has entered our country from Afghanistan," he said. After the shooting, administration submitted an emergency request in an ongoing legal case that could require National Guard troops to leave Washington as early as December 11, after a federal judge found the president's deployment likely unlawful. The administration asked a federal appeals court to intervene by late next week, potentially allowing the deployment to continue. Why are National Guard troops deployed in Washington? National Guard personnel were deployed in Washington as part of federal takeover of the city and crime crackdown in August, reported. As of the latest update, about 2,188 Guard personnel are assigned to Washington. Has positioned Washington as a prominent example of his decision to deploy National Guard troops dressed in camouflage and, in some cases, armed to patrol cities led by Democratic mayors, including Los Angeles and Memphis. The deployment in the nation's capital has been a contentious issue for months, sparking a legal dispute and broader policy debate over the administration's use of the military to address what it describes as worsening crime, the Associated Press reported.
Like and subscribe to Newscraft Studio for more awesome content.